Hi, folks, and welcome. Hope this finds you well on what is quite a beautiful day here in Cumbria for once. Anyway, you've not come here for weather forecast. Apologies up front. This is likely to be quite a long video, I'm afraid. It's going to deal with my pickups from the last two record fairs. 2 weeks ago was the Windermere fair, which, to be fair, wasn't brilliant in terms of pickups. Got very little there. But bank holiday weekend was the Kendal Record Fair, and I figuratively stuffed my boots. Keep on thinking that the cheap bins have been done, but there was tons of stuff there in the £2, 3 for £5, £5 bins, plus a few others, which luckily I've got a decent relationship with 2 or 3 of the sellers, and usually can get a good discount. Anyway, as I said, this is going to be long, so let's get on and see what I managed to pick up. First up was one I got from Windermere, and that's this Manfred album, Man Made, from 1965. It's only the second Manfred Mann album from this period that I've got. This was when Mike Vickers was in the band, and Thomas McGuinness and Paul Jones was the vocalist. It's that usual nice mixture of blues, jazz, pop. Nice stuff.
You better take it easy, baby, before you go away. You give me heartache, but you get yours someday. You better watch your step. I say you better watch your step. Come on, girl, watch your step. Oh, watch your step. Or you'll be hurting down inside. Watch your step. Watch your step. You better give me all your money before you go away. Don't think I'm funny, honey. All I gotta say, you better watch your step. I say you better watch your step. Come on, girl, watch your step. Oh, yeah, I need you by my side, but I'm gonna say run somewhere and hide.
Next couple are going to be for Mr. Ison. No, he's a massive Roy Harper fan, and this is his 1980 album, The Unknown Soldier. Now, Roy's not very complimentary of his 1980s output, and to be honest, it doesn't match up with what he was doing in the 70s. A little bit overproduced. This one doesn't start off brilliantly with the first couple of tracks. First one's more of a pop number, I think, but gets better as it goes on. You get 2 or 3 tracks written with David Gilmour. There's a duet with Kate Bush. As I say, overproduced in places, but some nice stuff on there, actually. Would have been better done in the 70s. And that one was from Kendal. This one was from Windermere. This is another Roy Harper album. This is Work of Heart from, I think, 1982. This is a 1986 reissue. As I said, the If Unknown Soldier was a tad overproduced. This is even more so, and has some 80s production values on there with the keyboard sound and the drum sounds, which aren't to my liking. The best track is, I think, the second one, Jack of Hearts, which is more of an acoustic number. The title track occupies all of side 2. This was re-released a few years later as the original demos, the acoustic demos, and that's said to be far better than the album itself. Though this, I think, was it in The Guardian, got Album of the Year? Can't see it somehow. But Roy Harper's stuff, even at its worst, is better than a lot of people's.
As I walked over North Botley Cars, I saw a fine lady ghost across the tops with a ring on her finger and the winds on her toes. She can have music wherever she goes. I dream of a girl, the sweetest reflection of earth. I'm clouded by chains of demands of a world that leaves her restless as the sky, wandering and wandering wild.
And if those two were from Mr. Rice, I think these next two are, because I think he's a fan as well, of Michael Chapman. And this is Americana from 2020. This is actually a compilation, I think, from 2 CDs he did, I think in 2000 and 2002, called Americana 1 and Americana 2. They're instrumental albums of an American theme, and this takes the best tracks from both of those CDs. Side 1's from Americana 1, side 2 from Americana 2. Wonderful guitar playing from Michael Chapman, as always. Some of these are acoustic, solo. Some of these have backing on them, but really nice album. And the guy that sold me that also had another one by Michael Chapman. This is from 2019, and this is True North, which I think is probably his last studio album to date. This is mainly a vocal album, a couple of instrumentals, with obviously Michael on guitar. He has BJ Cole on pedal steel, the excellent Steve Gunn, American guitarist, singer-songwriter, on guitar and drums, who also produced the album, Sarah Smout on cello, and Bridget St. John, the singer-songwriter, who I saw accompany him at the only time I've seen Michael Chapman live, she's on vocals on some of the tracks. This is a really good album. His voice has deepened, but not too bad. Though on the last 3 or 4 tracks, his vocals do get hoarser. I don't know if they were recorded at a different time, or when they were recorded, he just had a bad throat or something. But even those are pretty good. So this is, like I say, it's from, I think, 2019 on the Paradise of Bachelors label.
I've been sleeping in my clothes again. I've been home, but I can't remember when. I get back there every now and then. I've been sleeping in my clothes again. Well, you know me, I like to roam. You know me, I like to roam. You know me, I take life easy. You know me, I'm heading home. 'Cause I've been sleeping in my clothes again. I've been home, but I can't remember when. I get back there every now and then. I've been sleeping in my clothes again.
And sticking with the sort of great guitarist thing, I was really pleased to find this. This was in the £2 bin. This was Benitez de Plata, Esas Guitarras Gitanas. Benitez de Plata, as you probably know, was a world famous flamenco guitarist of Spanish Romany extraction, but born and died, I think, and lived his life in France. This is superb flamenco guitar. The track that ends side 1, Guitarras Morescas, is absolutely brilliant, but the rest of the album is superb too. And I just noticed recently his guitar here is autographed by Picasso on the 24th of July 1968. Highly recommended. renowned guitarists. I managed to pick up 2 albums. I think these were a £5 each, by Leo Kottke. Now, I've never actually owned anything by Kottke. I'm not even sure I've ever heard anything before, though I know of his renowned. He's generally classed up there with John Fay and Robbie Basho as one of the great and most influential American guitarists, acoustic guitarists. This is a 6 and 12 string guitar from 1972. I think this is his first album. This is just pure solo instrumental guitar playing. Really nice. But I also got a second one by him, and I think this might be probably his most famous album. It's the one I always hear about and see in catalogues and things. This is Greenhouse. Not sure, this is on EMI, I'm not sure what year it was, doesn't say on the back, but this is a mixture of instrumentals and vocal tracks. Now, I've always heard that his vocals are a weak point, but to be fair, they're not that bad. I don't know why people call him out for his vocals, really. But this is a really good album. I enjoy this very much. Does a couple of John Fay tracks on here, but I'd highly recommend this if you're into your instrumental acoustic guitar. Next up, I was pleased to find this because they've been a favourite band for quite a long time. Seen them live when they toured over here. This is Government Mule, led by the great guitarist Warren Haynes. Came out of the jam band scene, really. But this is their album Stone Side of the Mule, volumes 1 and 2. Originally came as, I think, two individual CDs. Like a lot of jam bands on special days like, Halloween or New Year's Eve, they do special concerts, usually covering an album or an artist. In this case, this album was recorded on Halloween 2009. And it's the Mule doing Stones covers, Rolling Stones covers, and they do an excellent job of it. Covering tracks like Under My Thumb, Monkey Man, Heartbreaker, Painted Black, Angie, Ventilator Blues, Shattered, Wild Horses, Bitch, Slave, Play With Fire, Can't You Hear Me Knocking, and finishing off with Brown Sugar. Wonderful stuff. You can't go wrong with the Mule. Excellent jammy blues rock. from blues we go to reggae. I was really pleased to find this because I've wanted to get something by them for quite a while. And this is Third World with their first album, just self-titled. I always thought they were a British reggae band, but I think I'm just getting them mixed up with Steel Pulse. I thought both of them were British, but they're actually Jamaican as far as I can tell. This is really good, though it's not out and out reggae all the way as I thought it would be. You get there's the second track on side two, Got to Get Along, is more of a soul R&B number, and the vocalist has that type of vocal style on the album, but most of it is straight ahead reggae. I really enjoyed this one. The seller had another one. This was in the £2 bin, I think, again. I think there was another one there, a later one, but I thought I'd better start off with one of the early albums. Next up, a jazz album. I haven't bought an out-and-out jazz album for a while, it seems. £2. This was on Impulse. John Coltrane and Archie Shepp, New Thing at Newport. Now, this isn't them playing together. This is a live concert at Newport in 1965, July the 2nd, 1965, the Newport Jazz Festival. You get one track by Coltrane and his band, which at the time were McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison and Elvin Jones. And then you get 4 tracks by Archie Shepp and his band, who were Bobby Hutcherson, Barry Phillips and Joe Chambers. Good stuff. Cover's a bit battered, but the vinyl's in good condition. To be fair, of the two, I prefer the Coltrane number, though both are in that sort of very free jazz vein. The Coltrane number, though, starts off excellently. The piano work of McCoy Tyner and Elvin Jones's drumming is superb. I've got a couple of other albums by Archie Shepp recorded in France in '69, and I prefer the material on there to his numbers on here, but still good stuff. Pleased to get that for £2. Actually, less because it was in the 3 for £5 offer. Moving more from the jazz into the classical world as such, or a mixture of classical and rock, we have John Lord's Saraband album from 1976. John Lord, obviously the superb keyboard player with Deep Purple. It says the theme behind the music on this album is of a Baroque dance suite, and each track is named after a type of dance. This is obviously a mixture of rock band and orchestra, though I think this is possibly his most successful melding of classical and rock. The rock part of it is played by obviously John Lord on keyboards. He has Paul Carras on bass guitar, Andy Summers on guitar and classical guitar, and Pete York, who did he play with? Oh, it's gone. The band that Stevie Winwood came out of. Spencer Davis Group. Sorry, mind fart there. He's on drums. And then he has Mark Nausif, I think that's pronounced, on bongos, congas, timbales, rototom, Israeli talking drum, woodblocks, claves, triangles, cabasas, flexitone, maracas, thundersheet, tam-tams, water gong, siren, vibra slap, cymbals, finger cymbals, crotales, sleigh bells, gourds, guiro, and tambourines. Don't think there's a percussion instrument. Last 4 or 5 albums are all in the sort of progressive experimental music vein. So first up, we have Peter Hamill's 1979 album, PH7. People used to question why it was called PH7, thinking it was Peter Hamill 7, but it's his 8th album. I think PH7 relates to the level at which acidity and alkalinity are sort of in balance. Well, this is an album I've never heard before, but it's a very strong album. It's really good. It's got a mixture of acoustic ballads, piano ballads, more dissonant, experimental pieces, a number that was written for Van der Graaf Generator, which was only ever performed live, I think it was on the Vital album. And there's a bit of an epic at the end, 2 songs which segue together, which could have very well have been on a Van der Graaf Generator album. Excellent stuff, and you've got that inimitable, idiosyncratic voice of Hamill's, which you either love or hate, and I love it. we have Phil Manzanero, which with his Diamond Head album from 1975. This, I think, might be his first proper solo album. I think it comes after the 801 and the Quiet Sun albums, if I'm remembering rightly. Probably not. But it's got a great lineup. John Wetton on bass, Paul Thompson on drums. You've got Eno, you've got Robert Wyatt, Eddie Jobson, Andy Mackay, Dave Jarrett, Ian MacDonald on bagpipes. This is an excellent album. Maybe not quite up there for me with the Quiet Sun or 801 albums, but really strong. There's a couple of tracks with Eno on vocals that could have come off one of Eno's first couple of albums, like Taking Tiger Mountain. There's an instrumental, East of Echo, which I think is credited basically to Quiet Sun, which is excellent. Second side stronger than the first side, I think, but well worth having. Next, I was pleased to find this album at Kendal, Nurse's Song with Elephants by David Bedford. This, I think, was his first solo album, though some of his pieces had appeared on avant-garde classical music albums before that point. But this is on John Peel's Dandelion label, and it's probably his most avant-garde album. There's only 5 tracks. The first track is for 8 Descant recorders and 8 alto melodicas. The title track is for 10 acoustic guitars, where at the end he's joined by Mike Oldfield on bass. Some Bright Stars for Queen's College is for 80 girls' voices and 27 plastic pipe twirlers. Trona is for flute, oboe, bassoon, 2 trumpets, clarinet, 2 trombones, 2 violins, viola and cello. And the final track is for 6 pianos, flute, clarinet, trumpets and trombones, and has a poem recited and then sung by Kevin Ayers at the end. So not an easy listen, to say the least, but quite a rewarding listen. But I think I prefer what came afterwards. What year was this one from? That's bugging me now. Does it say? 1972. Next to last, one I picked up at Windermere, and that's Throbbing Gristle's Mission of Dead Souls, the last live performance of Throbbing Gristle. Throbbing Gristle, as you probably know, are sort of industrial music and industrial electronics. Probably not the sort of music I should like, really, but I've always liked them from when I picked up Heathen Earth way back in the day. They're discordant, dissonant, disturbing, very disturbing in places. But there's something about them that entices me. So I was pleased to find this. And it's, like I say, it's another hard listen, but another rewarding one. I've never seen this out in the wild. I've wanted it for a long time. And this is Laurie Anderson's United States Live, which is a 5 LP set. Laurie Anderson, obviously known for her hit Oh Superman, which probably gives you a good idea of the type of experimental music that she undertakes here. This was actually a performance piece that was done over 2 days, lasted about 8 hours, a mixture of music and visual pieces. When it was edited down for the album, it was basically the visual pieces that were lost. I don't know if there's a film or a video of the performance out there. It would be interesting to see, but excellent stuff. A lot of spoken word tracks with either the vocals slowed down or sped up. Her main instrument is violin, treated violin in a lot of cases. Quite even the vocal pieces are quite hypnotic. Yeah, it's again not an easy listen for 5 albums at once, but an album at a time. It's very good. Like I say, I've wanted this for a long time. And I got it at an excellent price, and it's in superb condition. That's it. Those were my pickups from Kendal and from Windermere. I've got a load of new stuff to show you sometime if I ever get round to it. So I hope to see you all again soon. Take care. All the best. Bye.